Hello, I'd like to give you a tour of one of my own courses, History 101, World Civilizations 1. This course is on an online learning template that I made. This is the same template I use when I work with other faculty on their online courses. So I thought I would just show you one of mine and you can kind of get a sense of what they all are. There are differences in other courses. For example, if there's a lab component, we might have a lab section over here. When I have courses in which students write research papers, then I'll have, similar to this resources section, I'd have a research section and list the requirements there and so forth. So while the template is fairly consistent from course to course, it can be customized to a specific course. So we begin on the Start Here page with the name of the course, the term, the modality. I made a little video introduction for my students, so I post that right there. Here they can find my information, how to get a hold of me. I posted my Zoom room since we're not really in our offices this semester, and my teaching philosophy. Some information here. So this new to online, how to navigate and getting started, these again are part of the template. So we guide students toward an orientation course if they're new to online or remote learning. We explain how to get started with the course that they're looking at, the basic navigation, and what steps they should take to get started. I also add extra in my courses a video about why we should study history and what I expect of my students. So that is our Start Here page. The next page the students go to is the syllabus and course information. Here is my syllabus. They download it as a document, but then within this page, we sort of break out the syllabus components so students can see them in one click instead of having to always download a document. So we start with the prereqs and the textbook that they need. I write my course schedule in a long list so they can scroll through that easily. I also link right to that elsewhere in the course so they don't have to scroll this far to get to it. Break out the grading policy so the students understand how they're going to be evaluated. The late policy. I use Norton Publishing for my own personal courses, and with that I use a product called Inquisitive, which is great for mastery learning. So I explain that slightly to the students here. Their minimum technical requirements, again that's part of the template but customizable for individual courses. Netiquette. I put the copyright information for the course materials that I use, which consist of Norton and John Green's crash course videos. My inclusive excellence statement. Plagiarism, accessibility, and federal no-show compliance. So a lot of this is boilerplate from the template, and then we customize different things. For example, obviously the copyright information would be specific to a course. So the next thing the students would see is the announcements page, and I set my landing page to announcements once we're a couple weeks into the course. I post the calendar here. This is the Blackboard system calendar. But the main thing the students are interested in once they get through the first week or so when they're acclimating themselves to the course would be the weekly modules. And here you'll see I am not in edit mode. I post the link to the ebook for them, and then each module, I adaptive release the modules by date. So I put them in reverse order so that the week that we're in is the week that's on the top. So we can take a look at a sample week. We always start with the about, so they know what the expectation is for the week. I do give them some of the publisher ancillary materials. I don't see any problem with those, so that's fine if the students want to use those. I like the author videos that Norton makes, so I add those to the course. They really target specific parts of the chapter. Then I pull in the John Green crash course, World History. This is World History, so these videos are really great for the students. It just gives them another point of view or another way to kind of break down the content. And so there's 2 of those in this chapter. Then again, as I stated, we use the Norton Inquisitive, so that would be next. It launches, it's an LTI, which is a learning tool interoperability, and so the students go out on Norton's website, do their mastery quiz, and then their score comes back to the Blackboard gradebook. Here they're doing a little bit of mini research. They're answering questions about primary sources, so the documents are all listed here on this page, and then they come over here to answer the questions. And it's really a worksheet, but it's set up using the Blackboard quiz tool just for automatic grading purposes, and the students can do these each 3 times. Then each week ends with a discussion, which I call Metacognitive Cafe. And this is where the students reflect on how they are learning, what skills they're using when they're reading and trying to attain the knowledge. This is a simple question, which is, do you learn more from the textbook and quiz or from watching the videos? And so this gives the students a chance to chat with each other about what they're doing physically when they're trying to learn the content. This helps to build community in the class. It also relieves or mitigates the sense of isolation that truly online learners can feel. And it helps them become aware of their own learning processes. As the weeks go on, we get more into learning theory and evidence-based practices and things like that, so that I can really give the students a good footing and help them understand how to learn better, because I really feel that my role as instructor is to empower students to learn how to learn. So that's what a week looks like. Then I keep a discussion board link handy for them, because the students have to post their initial post and then have to comment on others. This is a quick shortcut for them to get to the discussion board. This link is called CLO assignments. This is not in every course, but I try to encourage faculty to consider adding something like this to all their courses. CLOs, of course, are our course learning objectives or course learning outcomes. And I break that down for students so that they understand what that is. I believe fully in empowering students with the terminology that we use in higher ed, so that as they move on throughout their educational career, they can articulate the skills and knowledge that they have attained, and they understand what a learning objective is, and they understand that their goal in each course is to attain all those learning objectives. So I break down course learning outcomes, critical thinking and information management here, which are 2 of our institutional learning outcomes that are present in this course. And I have them think about their program learning outcomes. I link back to the program page where they can find all those. And then above you can see I put in a chart so they can tell at a glance where in this course they're meeting each of their learning outcomes. Next is the communication section. I'm not going to click on any of these links because this is a live course and I don't want to show any student names, but the students have a student lounge. That's where they can ask each other questions. This is the student gradebook, and these are messages that I would get from individual students. Next part of the course is resources. This can be customized in any course. Our college offers Microsoft Office for our students, so I give them a link right to that. Talk a little bit about primary and secondary sources, Chicago style information, and a little bit about avoiding plagiarism. Every course has a Find Help Here section, and I do encourage faculty to customize this. I do here with the Norton Inquisitive Help link right at the top. So anytime you're using a third-party product or a tool outside of the learning management system, I feel it's important to have the help right there so that the instructor, the faculty member, does not have to be the tech troubleshooter for a third-party product. All of our Find Help Here sections have Blackboard help for students. This is GCC Student Support and Academic Help. It's an external link. This is a site that I maintain where the students can find academic resources, diversity and inclusion, personal counseling, and some general other offices that they may need. Another site that we work on here just to support students, I keep this student resources site. This is for our brand new students. Some students may not be that familiar with computers. This also supports that orientation that students can take if they're new to online learning. And this just provides them some study skills, basic computer skills, file management, word processing, online communication, and then some help with third-party products and librarians. So that's pretty helpful. And then back in the course, another thing we do, or I maintain this accessibility and privacy policies modules. So modules are different in that in Blackboard, I update a module in one place and the updates roll out through all courses that the module is present in. So with accessibility and privacy policies, as soon as I find out the name of a vendor or publisher that is in use in a course, I go out and locate the privacy policy or VPAT and the accessibility statement and post those in alphabetical order in here. And similarly, our college course policies. Some of this information is redundant with the syllabus information we had, but that's fine. This is in a module, so if a policy changes, I can update it in the policy, and that will happen sometimes faster than it rolls out throughout individual syllabi. Again, this is part of what we'll see in any course. So back to our weekly modules, if we go back into edit mode, you'll see that I have them all laid out so the students can be successful and complete their course on time and learn about history and learn how to learn. Thanks for watching.